Hello everyone. In the previous series, in the first video, I have described what is research, why do we do research, and the approaches to research. In this video, the focus is going to be on HRM research, or what is HRM research. I'm sure you know from the content of the course that you have gone through about HRM, what HRM is all about. HRM, or human resource management, is all about people management in the organization. I would say it's just not just people management in an organization, the effective and efficient ways to manage people in an organization. So in short, HRM research will explore how organizations manage their people to improve performance and employee well-being. Remember, performance of the organization at the same time improving employee well-being. So HRM research will bridge the gap between the business strategy and human behavior. Now, let me go through with you some of the common areas that can be used, that can be focus of HRM research. Number one is about strategic HR. Strategic HR is not just from HR from a department perspective. So you are looking at the wider perspective of human resource management, how HR policies, all the HR policies that relates to recruitment, selection, training and development, performance management, reward management, employment relations, all the HR policy, how it aligns with overall business goals of the organization. Number two, you can look at the outcomes of the organizations, or more specifically, the employee outcome, the impact of the HRM policies and practices, impact of management on job satisfaction, the impact of organizational leadership on job satisfaction, motivation, burnout, mental health, emotional health, looking at employee outcome. Another outcome you can look at is the job commitment of the employee, and many more, performance and many more, right? That is number two. Number three, you can look into recruitment and selection, how the company can improve the recruitment and selection. You know that if you select wrong employee, wrong employee being hired, many things can go wrong. A lot of issues, organizational issues, can be due to poor selection. That I would say that almost 60 to 70% of HR problem that exists in an organization is due to poor selection. Right? So how do we improve recruitment selection? How do you use technology? Like that is another topic altogether, AI and technology, in order to improve our selection of right employee, the right people for the right job, right time, right motivation, and so on. Another area you can include the number three, sorry, not number three, number four is performance and reward management, and reward management, effectiveness of the performance management system. Performance management system is the broader area which includes the appraisal. Performance management systems include goal setting, competency development, performance monitoring, providing feedback, and then appraisal. And then reward management system, looking at the effectiveness of the financial reward, non-financial reward, okay, how it helps in order to what we call, how it helps us to attract, motivate, and reward employees. Then you can look at areas like employment law, the impact of the applications of the employment law in HR, especially in the areas like disciplinary, misconduct, termination, dismissal. That's one of the area. As I said to you, employment, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think the seventh. Okay, looking at the diversity and inclusion, which is also very popular. How do we build equitable and representative workplace? EDI or DEI. Then digital HR that is growing. How HR and data analytics are changing workforce management. Okay, and if you are planning a study, you need to look at the time frame and many factors. No, if you are doing research that is not a longitudinal research, cross-sectional research, based on the model of research onion by Saunders. You know what is meant by cross-sectional, not a longitudinal research. You need to manage the feasibility, whether you should be able to cover the entire scope of the research within the given time. So digital AR, digital HR can include areas like AI, data analytics, HR metrics. All those will be very useful for you to look at. Very useful for you to look at, right? And also other areas like green HR, sustainable HR. Sustainability is very popular today. Sustainability, green HR, okay, and many other emerging issues related to HR due to the technology today, due to the AI. For example, how AI is used in almost all fields of HR. AI is not only in the field of HR, but in many other fields too. So how the world that we operate today, world that is considered to be VUCA world that is volatile, uncertain, complex, ambiguous, affects the HR practice, okay, human resource management practice, how it affects leadership. Okay, leadership. Well, if I want to enlarge, expand the scope of HR, I can also include areas that relates to organizational behavior, human psychology, looking into areas like employee mental health, like earlier part I have mentioned to you, psychology, sociology, social psychology, anthropology related to culture, organizational culture, politics, organizational politics. So there are many areas. So you can even narrow it to specific industry. Of course, if you are doing a research that needs to be completed in 6 months or even to 1 year, depending whether you are doing your research for undergraduate, masters or doctoral research. Doctoral research is a bit longer. So you can have the scope that are a bit much more wider rather than going into specific industry. Of course, you can do specific industry too. So you have to look into industry that are specific HRM practices, whether it is in a hospitality industry, whether it is a tech-based industry, retail industry, healthcare industry, construction industry, manufacturing industry, service industry, any industries. Go specific. You can't cover the entire industry throughout the country, even geographical location. You can specify which geographical location that you are looking at rather than the entire country. If it is a research, it's just a cross-sectional research, which is a short-term research. Okay, and then what will be the target outcome? What you want to achieve from the research at the end of the day? What is going to be the significance, the outcome of the research? If you are looking into recruitment, selection, HR practices, is it related to reducing turnover, increasing productivity, increasing job satisfaction? So what's the target outcome? And then look at maybe some of the current trend that you can also include. Well, this you can even include in the topic of your research, like remote work, effectiveness of remote work, flexible work environment, mental health, also use of AI tools. So these are some of my suggestions if you would like to do specific to HR research. Of course, there are many other topics that I have not included here, which you can also consider in doing your HR research. All right. So in summary, what I have given to you is what is HR research? What do we mean by HR research? What are the common focus area? I have given several area. I cannot remember the count here. Several focus area. I remember I started with strategic HRM, then employee outcome, looking into recruitment selection, performance management, reward management, employee relation, diversity inclusion, digital HR includes the what you call current trends like AI and many more, which will be helpful for you to look at what is going to be the topic that you are interested to research on. All right, that's all for this session, this video. We can see in the next series, next sessions on research. All right, thank you everyone.